In the last video, I talked about how there may be future DLC coming out that affects V's future, but I want to talk about some minor details that we may have missed in V's secret apartment towards the end of the secret mission, and what those minor details prove or may suggest about what's coming next. My name's Mike, you're watching Deconstructing the Game. Let's get to it. So everything we see here in this first part of the video is going to be the footage that I took whilst completing the secret mission and basically finishing that ending initially. And I'll show you how to get to this apartment outside of that mission using some climbing skills. But I want you to focus on some of the minor things here, like the car on V's desk and the statue of Scorpion on the coffee table here. Because these are items that you receive in the game through doing side missions and they're in your inventory. You can't access the bullet pendant inside the apartment unless you're doing this mission, and I think this is pretty much because it's connected to the end of the game so far. You'll notice the space station is showing in a hologram there, and in the kitchen area we can brew ourselves some coffee before heading into the armory, which contains a ton of weapons and has the dreamcatcher on the wall from Judy, and in the corner we also have some of the wetsuits as well. Now all this is from the secret ending, so everything in here when I first saw it looked as if it was possibly a beta tested apartment building for the start of the game, but I think that this is going to be available after they've released some DLC in the near future. We can see like the emails and stuff from Mr. B. We can see some posters there from the missions we've done with the Congressman and Lizzie Wizzy, and the samurai jacket hanging up in the closet there as well. I noticed that the armor rating for that jacket is sitting at 11.3, and that remains the same for being in this apartment after the secret mission, or coming to this apartment using the trick I will show you. We can see here the games console, the virtual reality games console that we used with the River and the kids, sitting on the board table there, and we can access a lean feature on the balcony and have a good view of Night City, swim in the pool, and look at the space station that is just beside the moon there. And can I just be picky with this? That would not be stationary unless that was in geostationary orbit. Just being a nerd, but that would actually be moving across the sky. But if you want to get to the apartment building outside the secret mission and in your current save file, you're going to have to go to the elevator, which is outside the mega building. That takes you to the unfinished monorail stations. Jump on top of the station and then down onto the monorail itself. Save the game a few times because this is tricky and you're going to end up falling to your death. Turn right and head down the main street and access the second unfinished monorail station, and then you can proceed to jump onto the roof. Once you're on that roof, you can use your double jump legs to jump across to this red and blue building here, and then the tricky bit is jumping up onto the ledges to get a little bit higher up, sliding across and then jumping up to where the neon lights are. And from here you can have to take a running jump, double jump into the catwalk, and then turn around, jump through the catwalk again onto the building on the right hand side, onto that small ledge, and then jump onto the roof. And then from here you can have two options. You can jump across to the ledge on the left and then across to the building on the right, turn around and then jump back onto the corner there, or you can just jump straight across to the corner from the catwalk, but that's a little bit trickier and you might drop down. And then from here you can use the double jump function to jump up the ledges, grabbing onto ledges, and then you're pretty much on top of V's apartment building. There's a little bit more to go. Just be careful here with the textures rendering in and out. It's going to cause you a bit of a problem trying to jump onto this ledge here and across to the other side. And then from here jump across, and then this is it. This is V's apartment area, but we're just on the opposite side of the building here. So you're going to have to go around the left hand side, because if you use the right hand balcony, you're going to hit an invisible wall, and it's just going to reject you going that way. This number here, no idea what this means. It's probably nothing significant, but I was looking at this for a while thinking it could be something, but it's probably not. So continuing on the left hand side of the balcony, then you can go right the way around until you hit an invisible wall, drop down to the lower level balcony, and then you can just walk along the kind of barrier to V's garden area. Everything here is the same as the ending of the secret mission, but you'll see the minor details, the minor differences here. So the first thing you'll see is that there isn't a hologram on the table of the casino. There isn't a box of virtual reality games on the table. We don't see the scuba diving equipment or the dreamcatcher inside the armory. There isn't a scorpion statue, and there isn't a vehicle model car, but what there is V's unique gold-plated clothing, which you can actually pick up and use in your game. These are leveled items, I believe, so they might be of use to you, and to me they don't look particularly nice, but you can pick them up anyway. You can explore the mirror and the bathroom, but the shower doesn't work yet, possibly later to be coded. And the elevator, you can turn the elevator on. And did you miss that? Yeah, well, I freeze framed it for you and it just says get close. You can access the elevator at some point, judging by what they've coded here, but at the moment you can't do much with it. As you can see, armory's pretty empty. There's no dreamcatcher, there's no scuba diving equipment, so I'm thinking that this apartment will be available based on the fact that in the secret ending of the game I'd done all the side missions, I had romance options with a Judy, so that's why I think the dreamcatcher was there and the scuba diving equipment. I think the reason the virtual reality kit was there was because I'd done the mission with River, I'd collected the scorpion statue, and that's on display. So I think this apartment is going to be available in future DLC to display things like memorabilia and trophies, just like when we got Geralt's house in Blood and Wine. You can see above V's apartment there's another balcony. I thought this was ours if we were to access the balcony from our bedroom, but no. So I decided to go for a little bit of an explore around the apartment building and climb up the side to see if we could drop down and have a wee look and see what was going on there. But on top of the building there's nothing but advertisements and a couple of cruddy textures in the center there that are hidden by advertisements. So potentially this could be like an AV pad at some point, but if you drop down from here you can access the top balcony, and the apartment above is essentially just V's apartment, a carbon copy but completely empty. There's nothing here but some strange rocky textures, some walls missing. So I'm guessing this apartment building is going to be fully functional in the future, and we're going to have different floors and probably different available things to do. But the thing that caught my eye in this apartment is that the elevator shaft is fully exposed and open, and you can drop down the elevator shaft and you'll pass your apartment door just there and you'll end up landing on the elevator. So the elevator is hard coded, the shaft is there, and the keypad for the elevator does show as well. So I think this apartment building is definitely going to be available. It's going to be a unique apartment building to V, and I think there's going to have to be DLC to fill in the gaps of how we access and acquire this apartment building in the future. So that's my theory. I hope that kind of consolidates and adds a bit more weight to what I was saying before about future DLC for V. This is the unique kind of gold-plated expensive kit that V had on her dressing table. It doesn't look very good, but it is leveled up so you can use it if you want. But the most interesting thing about the clothing you pick up in the apartment building is that the replica Johnny Silverhand jacket that was level 11.3 in armor rating is now jumped way up to 190 plus. You can just see here we get some golden aviators as well to replace Johnny's, and I'll just show you the Johnny Silverhand replica jacket just now. The one I'm wearing is 136, which is what Rogue gave us outside the Afterlife, but the one here beside it, 191, that is the replica jacket that was inside the armory at level 11.3. So that is a leveled jacket as well. So if you want to access that to get a leveled Johnny Silverhand replica jacket, go right ahead, and you can have that in your save file and continue your game as you like. Hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. I had a lot of fun climbing. It was challenging but fun, and a couple of bonuses here. This is underneath the rocket facility. I found some hard-coded textures under the water, had to use some oxygen to swim around, but there's not a great deal a difference here of kind of structure-wise from what's above the ground, but I did think it was interesting that a lot of the structures was under the water, and if you look in the top corner, it actually represents itself on the map as well. So yeah, another theory I have for future DLC is possibly recovering Laguna Bend and the town that Judy was brought up in, because of the structures alongside the dam, and there's areas you can access there. There's also two dams. If you notice, there's a smaller dam and a big dam, so potentially in the future we'll get to show off our skills and open up possible avenues for Laguna Bend. If you like the content on this channel, you can always check out the Twitter page as well, as there'll be occasions where I'll be doing some glitches live and just streaming for fun. I don't use clickbait for videos, and everything I do is mod free and for the Xbox One console, soon to be Series X. You've been watching Deconstructing the Game. I'm Mike. I'll catch you later.